Cooey, Australia. This is Planet Australia. I thought I'd say something like that because why not? I represent Australia on my channel, so why not get down to the real old Aussie slang, cooey. How has everybody been in these uncertain times? Well, hope's good. Last time I spoke to you, I did put out the tube explaining that it would be a really good thing if we brung it on with a real Aussie debate between Scott Morrison and our Joe, I believe, is Anthony Albanese. He'll get my vote this time. I don't care what anybody says. And there's some interesting comments around the debates getting really good. But anyway, I will get down to business, Oz. Okay, now, we all know about these tests, okay? Now, I found it very hard to get tests, but now I've got hold of one, and I thought I'd show you guys what it's all about, what I've experienced, and what I've come across, which I think is very interesting. And I'm going to ask the Australian government what in the bloody hell they're up to as far as the price gouging and everything else that's going on with these tests. The amount that people have to pay for is, it's highway robbery, really. You look at it. But anyway, I'll get down to that. First off, I'll show you a test, okay? It's this. Okay, I'll leave it up there for a minute. Is it right? Yeah, it's right, up the right way. Okay, now you can see that, guys? Okay, now there's 5 in a pack. Okay, you get 5 cassettes. You get your 5 test tubes, 5 swabs, and of course your disposal bags, and of course your tubes. Now, with this I found, I did do one yesterday for a trial run, okay. They're in the chemist, by the way. And the price I'll get down to in a minute, which is, I think, highway robbery. The bloody government should be ashamed of themselves. The price gouging going on with these things is amazing. And why don't they get their little investigators out and all the chemists all over Australia and see how things are going and what prices the chemists are actually charging for these things. Bloody shameful, a government. But anyway, that's that. Now, I'll show you what's in it. Your test tube, okay. They're really simple to use. Your swabs, okay. Your test, that's your little cassette in there. Now with these, when I open this, okay, another surprise is they've got a little satchel in there that must keep the cassette, testing cassette, you know, dry and free of moisture and anything else. But the thing is, when I open this, the little satchel that is there with the white crystals was open, and all the white crystals were in the bottom of this. It wasn't sealed. So that to me is a defect. But anyway, do be careful of that when you get your tests, because that's a defect. It shouldn't happen. But it did. I went ahead, did my test. Of course I'm not, you know, positive. But anyway, I did that, but be careful of that, okay? Because when you open that, you'll see the white little granules, and if they fall on the ground, your kids can get them, pick them up, poison themselves, even the animals. So do be careful, because they're really fine little granules that come out of that satchel, but some I think are defaulting, okay? But anyway, and your disposal bags. That's another thing, okay? That's in there. Another thing, government, when people are able to get a hold of one of these tests, where do we dispose of them? In a bin, like the red bin, the yellow bin? Where do these go? Because, you know, some people that come up positive would be throwing these away in these bags, hopefully, to contain any contamination and spread of that. But where do people actually throw this? Can you put an ad out for that, government? Where people dispose of their tests once they're used, whether they're negative, positive or anything? Where do we dispose of these tests in the bin? The yellow, the red? Where? Where? Can you tell us, government? We're lost. Sorry to be so sarcastic. But anyway, also another thing is, to my surprise, which tits me off. I can't understand the government. I don't think anybody can. But you know these tests, guess where they're made? Not in Australia, but we have got these being made in Australia, but they're not for Aussie people. Okay, where do these come from? Have one guess, people? China! China, they come from China. So there you go. We have got one of China's products that we're relying on. I think a lot of defect. Faulty. Some, I dare say a lot, are faulty, but we're using them. And the funny thing is, which I think is not really funny at all, people would be crying about now with these tests, is, do you know how much one of these tests costs? Well, I'll tell you, government, I think society and the nation would know, especially the working people, for 3 tests, it's $75 to $80 for three tests. Is that price gouging? Is that highway robbery? Or is that just a good smack in the mouth to the Aussie people? Buying these, apparently there's so much that people can get them, that's bull twang, right? To find when they do, an average family of mum, dad, 3 kids or 4 kids, it would cost what, $160 for 6 tests? No, 10 tests. That's ridiculous. And if they have to go working, or the kids have got to be tested for school, how long is that going to last? Not long. Highway robbery. And especially these are made in China. So who's having the last laugh now, government? I don't think we are, as Australians. The Australian people aren't laughing over this. It's bloody disgraceful. So do something about it, because for one test I think they're charging between 25 and 35 a test. Some places are. So have an investigation. Do your doodah drop-ins to chemists that are robbing people, because it's wrong. Really, really wrong. And we shouldn't have to put up with this. And also you say the conflicts with China. Well, we're all so confused because we're using their products that happen to be, there are some defaults in these products. So there you go. So that's my little him-ha and niggle for the day with that, government. So I do hope you're not going to just sideswipe this and think it of not importance, because it is to the Australian people, believe you me, because they can't afford this test. What? 3 tests, which is what, 15 tests, and you have to pay, what, $75 to $80? That's crap. So take that, government, and do something about it. It's highway robbery. The people are being robbed left, right and centre. And especially these are made in China. I'm not, racist or anything. I'm just saying the way things are with the state of affairs. 1 minute with this, 1 minute with that. And the tight tensions between China and Australia. But we're using their products. And people, Australian people, are being charged like a wounded bloody bull. So there you go. Another Australian saying. But it's true. So government, do have an investigation about this, because it's wrong. Okay, pensioners, okay, if they can get hold of them, they don't have to pay. That's a fair enough deal. But the thing is, for the people that do have to pay, the working Joe, the mama, the papa, the single women, single men, young couples, where are they left? The single women, the single men, where are they left? Seriously. So, and they're working for nothing. They're working to make enough bread and butter for themselves to last day by day, week by week, and that's sickening, government. So wake up to yourself and do something about this. Fine them, you got penalties for everything else, but don't just sit on your backside about this one. It's too important. Anyway, that's one thing off my chest. Another thing is, as we all know, of course, masks, but where are they made? China. We're wearing masks from China. We got tests from China. We're surrounded by China products. So there you go. Doesn't make sense, but these are important, your masks. Thought I'd say that. Also, you guys, look, this is going to be important because as winter comes on and flus occur, influenza, bronchitis, common colds, that sort of thing, you don't want to be left where your guard's down and you're unexpected and you think, I'm not going to get sick. Well, think that you are going to get sick and you might get Omicron. And as we all know, Omicron is, well, they say a mild virus. No, crap. It's a very heavy, sick virus. Not as bad as Delta, but it's up there with them. And Omicron, it's up there with them. And every other variant that will come from now on will be up there with them. But the thing is, you got to realise that with your vaccinations are important. The debate about mandating boosters, well, good luck, because I don't think a lot of people are interested. Not because they don't believe in the fact, they just, I think, tend to think, well, what's the bloody use? And it's true. What's the bloody use? You think it like that. But if you can try and get your boosters, they are important to you, and your vaccinations, you know, please. But that's your decision. That's the Australian people's decision, you know, not the government's decision. But anyway, another little nifty little thing is this. See this? Can you see it? No, you can't. Where is it? Vicks Defense. That's really, really good, guys. It inactivates your cold. The first sign. The very first sign of a cold. But you've got to use it 3 to 4 times a day. 3 snorts. In the morning, before you leave home, before you go into the supermarket, before you go out or go in anywhere. This. And I'm telling you, it's a nifty little thing because it does do what it says. It inactivates common colds, which, as we all know, viruses enter through the passages of our nose and mouth, most of the time through the nose, unless we've got a gob open, you know. But that's how I think if you got this, you would be able to help yourself inactivate the common cold or the virus, you know. Not the virus, but I'm just saying viruses, common cold viruses. Because if we let our guard down this winter or from now on, right, and you don't believe in boosters, you're going to get sick. And a lot of people are dying. Remember, guys, they're dying. People are dying. So try and get your immune system up and running. Kick it in the bum. Get stuff like this. Get your zinc. Get your vitamin D. Things like that. Your vitamins into you. Very, very important. But try and think about getting your boosters. They are important. But that's up to the Australian people. Because a lot of people think, well, what's the use? But it's true. But government, with this price gouging, I say highway robbery, theft at the best, for the Australian people to be charged $75 to $80 for 3 tests is appalling. So please do something about it, government, because it can't go on. And if you want the Australian to have a fair go and get back on their feet, we'll help them. step in, intervene, you know, find these chemists, find these people for their greed, especially when it's there and it's, you know, free for pensioners but not free for anybody else that work. I think that's wrong. And especially since the products are made in China and some are defected. So people that buy them find when they get them home, instead of complaining, they just put up with it and do the test. But it's defected in some form. So think about that, government. You're not doing anybody favours but yourself. But anyway, I don't think there's anything more to say to the Australian people, but look after yourself. Till next time, with my little updates. Do look after yourself. Keep yourself well and look after your family. And that's all I can really say. And my 4 codes, I will say them: respect, dignity, honour and integrity. They will serve you well, and faith. And also people that are experiencing psychological or physical abuse, men or women, reach out to the networks and services that are there and to the police. They are now being more trained than anything to help people in domestic violence. But you must reach out to people or somebody. You can't just stew in your own situation and think it's going to go away, because it's not. It will just get worse. And people that are the victims tend to think they can help the defendant. Well, the defendant is the person that needs help, because they do not know any boundaries of violence. They will use violence. They will use psychological abuse if you let them. Only if men or women in this situation let them. Don't think I don't know. Don't think I haven't been there, done that, or I'm just bullshitting, because I'm not. I'm saying what I've experienced and what I've had to go through. But you gotta be strong within yourself. You gotta have faith. You gotta tell yourself you can get out of this mess. But you've got to allow yourself to know that this person that you love is wrong for you, and what everything else that you've experienced with this person is hurting you, your family, and you're going to do something about it. And you can. But you've got to reach to your networks and support services. People are out there. Police will help you. They have got a lot of work ahead of them, but there are teams out there that are now equipped to help people with domestic violence and psychological abuse. All you need to do is reach out. Anyway, until next time, like, subscribe and comment from Planet Australia. See you, Australia. But government, do something about this horrible situation people are in now with their tests, because there's so much greed in the society, and people that are selling these tests should be ashamed of yourself, and I hope they're fined. So do something about it, government. Have your little investigations, have your little doodah drop-ins to chemists and see what's really going on behind the scenes, and find these people. And make sure you regulate a certain price instead of leaving it up to the pharmacists what they can charge. How dare you, government? How dare you? And how dare you, pharmacists that are as greedy? It's the Australian people that you're feeding off their sadness, their misery. No hope for 2022. Government, wake up to yourself. Like, subscribe and comment. See y'all.